Hey guys, welcome to Taerk Test Kitchen. Today we're gonna make one of my favorite snacks, popcorn. But not just any popcorn. This popcorn is gonna be covered with a rich caramel sauce that's spiked with bird's eye chili and unctuous chunks of bacon. Let's get into it. The first thing we're gonna do is cut our bacon. I have 8 ounces of my home cured and smoked bacon, which I'm gonna cut into bite-sized lardons, roughly ½ inch thick pieces. We want the bacon to be similarly sized to the popcorn. That way we can spread the lardons evenly through the popcorn. Now we're gonna cut our chilies. I have some blurry bird's eye chilies here, and these are pretty hot, so be careful touching them and then touching around your nose and eyes. This isn't the plate is hot, let's touch it moment. I'm gonna slice 2 of them very thinly so that they almost disappear into the caramel and lend their punchy spice to the mix. But you can use less or more depending on how much heat you like. Now it's time to cook the bacon. Heat a pot big enough to cook your popcorn in on medium-high heat. Once your pot is hot, not warm, not almost hot, just hot, add your bacon and let them cook, stirring occasionally until they are nice and crispy. You know the saying, stop and smell the roses? Well, I think we should change that to stop and smell the bacon, because oh my Goldilocks, this smells good. Once all the bacon is done and beautifully crispy, remove from the pot and drain on a paper towel lined plate. Now as for the leftover bacon fat left in your pot, save that. That is literally gold. Reserve about 2 tablespoons of bacon fat and set it aside to use later. Now sticking with the same bacon-infused pot, bacon. Heat your pot on medium heat and add your bacon fat back in. Once your pot has heated up, pour in a 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels and immediately cover your pot with a lid. Agitate the kernels by occasionally picking up your pot and shaking it. This will encourage the kernels to pop. Keep an eye on your pot, and once you hear the first pop, start agitating your pot more, but make sure to not remove it from the heat too much. Keep shaking and cooking your kernels until all of the popping stops, and then remove the lid at your own risk. A kernel flew into my eye once. To reveal perfectly popped popcorn, pour the popcorn into a bowl and place to the side so you can start working on your caramel. The first thing we have to set up is a baking sheet with some parchment paper. We're going to pour our popcorn on this when it's done so it cools evenly. And to ensure that it doesn't stick to the tray, spray your tray with some non-stick spray. Once this anticlimactic step is over, we can head to the stove. In a large pot, add 1 cup of granulated sugar. Turn the heat on to medium heat, and whatever you do, don't touch the pot. Don't mix your sugar, and again, like the New York steak, don't even ask how it's doing. Still not sure why you would, but just don't do it. Let the sugar slowly melt undisturbed and turn into a beautiful amber-colored caramel. This is a slow and steady wins the race type of process. If you start playing around with the sugar, it will not crystallize properly. Pure sugar caramels are not easy to do, so take your time and keep a close eye on your pot. Once the sugar starts to caramelize and you see that golden caramel starting to form, you can start gently rotating your pot in a circular motion to gently mix the sugar into the caramel. If there are big clumps of raw sugar, you can gently pat down on them with a spatula, but I would recommend that you still not aggressively mix or whisk the caramel yet. Once your sugar has fully turned into a beautiful caramel sauce, add in 1 teaspoon of kosher salt and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Mix those in until they're fully incorporated into the sauce. You will see that the color will go from a deep dark brown to more of a true caramel color. Once the salt and butter have fully incorporated, add your bird's eye chilies and stir those into the mix. Finally, turn off the heat and add in ½ teaspoon of baking soda. This is going to give that caramel a honeycomb candy effect. Stir your baking soda into the caramel, and as soon as it's fully incorporated, add your popcorn and your bacon to the sauce. Mix that around to make sure everything is covered in that caramel, and then take it to your parchment lined tray and spread it into an even layer. Let it cool for a couple of minutes so that you don't burn the skin off your fingers, because that caramel is as hot as the sun, and then come back to it and start breaking it into bite-sized pieces once it's cooled. Then pile it high in a bowl and prepare for your mind to be blown. We have just taken this classic snack to the next level. Nay, next 10 levels. We have taken it out of the Earth's atmosphere. The popcorn is crispy and the caramel created this brittle texture that's not too sweet because we added that salt, and as we all know, unsalted caramels should be illegal. Every few bites you get a piece of that crispy chewy bacon, and I haven't had one plate of food that bacon didn't make better. And finally, out of nowhere, that bird's eye chili shows up to the party and lets you know who's in charge. I don't think I'll ever be able to just have plain buttered popcorn again. The popcorn universe is about to be taken over by spicy bacon popcorn warriors, and I'm okay with that. And well guys, what can I say? Just like that, this concludes today's journey into the world of popcorn. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more videos every week. Now get to cooking.